Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back for another week. Can you believe we are at February the 13th? Almost halfway through another month, the second month of the first quarter of 2021. So, welcome to Power Plug Radio, Jumpstart Your Business with Stephanie A. Wynn, a business segment where we provide resources and tools. I'm sorry, resources and tools for the business owners, right? So, during this Power Hour, we will cover business topics that will assist those who are seeking to start their business or for those who are in the business but seem stuck. So let's talk about the weather. Let's get right to it. What is the weather like today? So this morning we had a downpour. Yesterday it was 82 degrees. So the high today will be 80 degrees and the low will be 67. But it's raining off and on today. So I just need the sunshine. Everybody love the sunshine, right? So I want to congratulate. So our weekly announcements. I just want to say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for winning the Super Bowl. Like, isn't that amazing? Like, I'm not a Tampa Bay Bucks fan, but you know you got to root for the home team, right? So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Bucks. We are super proud of you, and you know it's just upward movement from here, right? So let's talk about your self-care day. Are you all doing your self-care day? How did you do this week? Did you take time out for yourself? Or did you put off your self-care day? So we need you to do that. What is a self-care day? A self-care day is where you're going to remove yourself from social media, just from everything. You just have you power down and you just take time out for yourself. You have a woosah moment. You do meditation, yoga, something, or just go sit by the water, like something to help you with your mind. Because remember, our mind is the strongest thing. So we have to protect our mind. And then if we protect our mind, our body will follow, right? So I always like to start off the show with starting a business can be exciting and scary at the same time. But before starting your business, you must start with the renewing of your mind. So what's renewing of your mind? I mean, you need to have a growth mindset. So in order to build, scale, or anything in your business, you have to have the mindset to grow the business. So if you have a fixed mindset, that's the person who self-sabotage everything. Nothing never works out. It's not going to be good. I should have had success by now. Everyone else is doing better than I am. That's a fixed mindset, and you have to stay away from that. Like, stay clear of that. And then we're going to get right into this week's topic. So we have a special guest in the building this morning. We have Miss Lolita Dash Pitts. I don't know why I want to say Potts, but listen, we got some good nuggets for you all today. And I'm super excited that she was able to come and join us this morning. The topic for this week is get your business prepared. And last week we talked about procrastinating. You know, as business owners, we do that, not just in business, but in our personal life. We've become victims of procrastination. And so we have to stop that. We have to move forward in our business or in our personal development. We have to eliminate that, right? That monster of a word, procrastinating. It's time to get it done. So we're going to get into the question. So Miss Lolita, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm just so excited to have this wonderful opportunity I've been provided today to share valuable information on getting your business prepared. My name is Lolita Dash Pitts. I was born and raised here in St. Petersburg. I've been here all my life, so St. Petersburg is my compassion, y'all. Whatever happens, I want to be informed and I want to be a part of it. So, as I stated, born and raised here in St. Petersburg. Presently, I own my business, and that business is called Adderall Consulting Solutions. Prior to going into business on my own, I was an independent contractor for over 20 years. And so I know the struggles, I know the hurdles, I know the crisis. I know all about just starting out and what you're going to be facing. So I'm here today to just put you at ease and just give you that encouragement to know that the rainbow is on the other side. It may look dim, but it is on the other side. Again, my passion is and always has been enlarging my territory and assisting other businesses and entrepreneurs and independent contractors to getting to a level of self-sufficiency and success.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So we share some of the similar things, Miss Passion. I mean, Miss Lolita, because that's my goal too, is to help the people in our community, set themselves up for success.
Exactly.
Because oftentimes, you hear, well, I never get anything, or I applied for this, I couldn't get that, or this isn't working for me. But when I ask the three questions, it's always, when I ask, is your business legally branded? Do you have your paperwork in order? And I get they look at me like I've said something foreign. So how do we change that? We have to change the narrative, and we have to help them set themselves up for success so that when the grants come available for the businesses, or there's, small business funding available, their business is in order legally with paperwork. Taxes are filed correctly. And you can sit at the table and eat as much as you want.
Exactly.
But when you don't have that available, you don't have your business in order, you can't sit at the table.
You can.
But you can't complain either that nobody's giving you anything
To eat.
because you're not taking the initiative to get this paperwork together.
Exactly.
So during the the height of COVID, I had a lot of barbers and stylists would reach out to me to apply for small business funding to help them get their paperwork in order. And so when I asked the question, well, are you registered with the state? They didn't even have that. So you're operating, first of all, you're legally operating, right? And in the city of St. Pete, you have to have a business tax license.
Correct.
Right? Even estheticians, I had estheticians reaching out to me. They're operating their business, but they don't have a business tax license. Like, you need to have these things set up. And even someone told me that's not true. You don't have to have that. Well, I work closely with the city of St. Pete, with the business tax office to help the businesses get their stuff set up correctly, the right way. And so it's nothing to it takes 30 minutes to an hour to fill out the application and get it submitted. For my Florida people, my question is, have you established your business with your state division of corporations? Like, have you done that? Have you had the chance to do that? And what I mean by that, I mean by applying for, whatever entity you decided to go with, a LLC, which is a limited liability company, or maybe you are a fictitious name. You're going to do a fictitious name, or you're going to incorporate, and that is a S Corp or C Corp. So you have to sit down with a competent tax advisor who understands that terminology and can make the best decision. You both can make the best decision for your business. And then you apply and get your paperwork in order. Like, it's not, and the question that I hear all the time, well, that's, how much is that going to cost? But it's best to have your business in order. Invest in your business. We know starting a business, you have to, you're gonna have to use money to make money.
Exactly.
You need the money to make the money. That's we know that. But we also know, and I say this all the time, we also need time and effort. You got to put the time in. You got to put forth an effort. Yes. It's nobody's fault because your business is not registered, but yours. If it's your business, it's your responsibility. So again, we got to stop procrastinating And I'm glad to have you on the show this week because I want a lot of people to understand that stop making excuses as to why you feel like you can't get this. And it's simply just educating us.
Exactly.
Just getting the education. Just getting the education. So what I want to say, like for my Florida people who are listening, if your business is not registered with the state Division of Corporations, go to sunbiz. Is it org?
.org.
Sunbiz.org. I'm sorry, y'all, I had a brain fog there. Sunbiz.org and apply. It for LLCs, it's $125. $125. And then once you've established the entity that you're going to choose and it's approved with the Division of Corporations, you need to apply for your EIN number with the IRS.gov, that website, IRS.gov. And remember, that's free. If you're paying for an EIN number, somebody just got paid. You know, your EIN number, it is free. I'm just giving you all these free tips because we can't do better if we don't know better. Right? So, again, who is that? Artistcampus.com? Jaleesa? So again, we need to be sure that we set ourselves up for success. So I want to thank all of the listeners on Facebook Live, powerplugradio.com, all of them that are using the app. Again, remember, we need to set ourselves up. So we got to get our business prepared. And in preparing when these grants come available and the payment protection programs are available, you can apply. And then you can sit at the table and you can eat all day. In fact, you can eat so much that you have to push away from the table. So I'm serious because I had friends who had their business in order and they are eating. Yeah, they had to shut down. My barber friends, they had to shut down, but they were able to sustain their business. They still can operate their business now because they had their paperwork in order. So remember, once you've gotten approved with the Division of Corporations for your state, you want to make sure that you contact your municipality of the county the city that you reside in, because you may have to get another tax license, right? So that may require a business tax license. So I also want to go back to the IRS.gov. You can only apply for your EIN number Monday through Friday. I'm sorry. They used to let you do it on the weekend. They changed that quickly. But it's Monday through Friday, and I think it cuts off at like 11 o'clock at night, Monday through Friday. So to get your EIN number, it's irs.gov. It's free, Monday through Friday. And then I want to talk about trademarking your business brand. And the reason why I want to talk about this too, we overlook this a lot. A lot of us in the community, we overlook trademarking our brand. When we hear this term, I want to take my brand to the next level. I want to take my business to the next level. I'm only bringing this up because a lot of times as business owners, we work hard to build our brand. We get the logo, we get the slogans, we get all of these things. We're providing a product or service, but we haven't trademarked or copyrighted our information. And so people are taking our stuff and using it. And so you have to protect your brand. You have to protect your brand. I had a interview with a trademark attorney the other day, and I was floored as to how not protecting your brand, you can lose your entire business. And the reason why I say that is in a dispute in court, a trademark dispute, it's well in the six-figure range. So we work too hard to not protect our brand. It only take a few, like you can apply for this yourself. So I'm going to recommend this because the attorney recommended this to me. If you have a business and your business is, let's say, ABC Coffee, start putting the TM behind your name until you can get your business brand trademark. TM, not the R, but TM. I'm just giving y'all free nuggets. So I'm telling you, because somebody can they can go and they can take your name, and then you got to stop using it, even for my authors, like I found out too, like if you have a book title, right? And say your book title is my book title, Ready, Set, Go, A Simple Guide to Establishing a Successful Small Business. And it's the subtitle. Someone can come and say, it sounds too much like my title and I can't use that anymore. But this is the stuff that the publishers don't tell you. So you need to be able to trademark everything to protect yourself. Yes, does it cost? It is a fee. Nothing is free. You can look this up if you Google, I think it's uspto.gov or copyright.gov. It's a lot. It's a lot of good information. So that's the next step. So remember, think about that, trademarking your brand. Like you got to think, if you love what you do, you're passionate about what you do, this is what you want to do, and this is your purpose. Protect your brand, right? So to all of those out there listening, thank you all for tuning in. So, do you procrastinate with getting the business established? I talked about this last week. Due to fear? Is it due to fear? What do you think, Ms. Lolita?
I think, yes. I think fear plays an important role in procrastination. A lot of it is just not knowing the unknown and, being untrustworthy of the process or the system, who's presenting the matter to you. If you trust that person, are you familiar with that individual or those resources? Mm-hmm. So I think it encompasses a lot, but it's definitely a part of procrastination.
So what have you seen, Ms. Lolita, because you're a consultant, you're a business consultant. What are some of the things that you've seen in the community where businesses aren't set up they're not properly prepared?
Number one, documenting your expenditures or your payroll payments. A lot of businesses, particularly the independent contractors and the self-employed individuals, rather than paying themselves, they do Cash App or, go to the ATM a million times a week, which is fine when you want to stay to a certain level. But if you're talking about growing that business, you need documentation. So what I find is a lot of the businesses, their mentality, I make money, I take it out. That's my business. As long as I have a profit at the end of the day, I'm fine. Well, that's true. Profit is important, but the process is also important.
Yes.
So with saying that, I'm saying rather than going to the ATM 50 times a week, getting those excess charges, if you may be charged, just write yourself a check. You have that documentation. You have a copy of that, and we'll discuss later in the process if you are trying to capitalize on SBA resources, you're going to need that information. By having substantial documentation in the proper form would save you a lot of time and a lot of aggravation, and it will increase your chances of getting funded.
So Jordan said that fear is something nasty. Jordan, listen. If you believe in your business, your brand, or yourself, you can't have fear. Because if you don't do what it is that you want to do, well, we know what happens. If you don't do it, you just don't do it and you have regrets, right? So do it. Like, just set yourself up. Do it the right way. I talked about early on when we first started the Jumpstart Your Business segment, we talked about, Cash App. Like a lot of people, they feel like, oh, what's wrong with Cash App? I'm good. But when you keep complaining that I want to take my business to the next level, if an investor wants to invest $1 million in your business and all you have is Cash App payments, I don't want to see that. Exactly. I want to see what system you have in place. Do you have a CRM that can that you have put in place, which is a client, this is your customer relationship management system where you can send out quotes and invoices and it shows your profit and loss. you can build these reports. So even if you haven't filed your taxes of yet, you can generate a profit and loss report.
Correct.
And provide it to the investor off of your CRM system. So remember, in order to grow any business or even grow personally, you got to have a system in place, some type of system. Whether it's I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna meditate, I pray, or I do whatever, yoga, whatever it is. And then you're gonna get up. You know, we have a system. We get up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we wash our face, we get ready for the day, right? That's a system. That's a system. So what are we gonna do when we're talking about this business and getting prepared for with these documents and trying to get the funding? You know, I want us to stop saying nothing never happens for me or I never get anything when you don't have your paperwork together. We got to do better. And how do we do better? We get the paperwork together. So let's talk about what is PPP. And that's the Paycheck Protection Program. And that's why we have Miss Lolita on the show this morning, because we really need for you to, you know, impact and educate the community about this program. Like, okay, the break. Okay. So we're getting ready to go to break. We're going to take 5 minutes, but when we come back, you guys get your pen and paper ready, because we're going to drop some nuggets about this Paycheck Protection Program, and Miss Lolita is going to just give us some really good nuggets, okay? We'll be back.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.
We are back. We are back to Power Plug Radio. Jumpstart your business with your host, Stephanie A. Wynn. This is some good topics today. Like, we're talking about this, like getting your business prepared. And I want to send a shout out to all the listeners on the Power Plug Radio app, Google Play, Apple App Store, and also Alexa and Facebook Live. So Tonio Albritton said, coming from a consultant background, I know people right here in the Tampa Bay area that run a 6-figure business that don't use a bank account. And, that may work for them. That may work for them, and that may be okay. However, when it's time to document, just got to get your paper right? So, and that's okay if that works for them. But again, we're today, for the purpose of the episode today, we're for the people that are wanting to get the payroll protection funding, which is an SBA backed loan that helps businesses keep their workforce employed during the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis. So we want to bring this information. I have Miss Lolita here with us in the building. And so, Miss Lolita, let's talk about how can the business owners apply for the program?
Well, first of all, there's two sets of funding. But to apply, you have to apply through a qualified SBA lender. Those lenders could be your banking institution that you already have a relationship with. They can be other banks or financial institutions, credit unions, that sort of thing. And there are also online portals with lenders that you can also qualify through.
Okay. Now, for the audience, to help the audience, now, you did answer that. You said it doesn't have to be with their bank. So, is it, what is it, do you know what the turnaround time is? Is the application, is it pretty simplified? Is it?
Okay. The application takes around 15 to 30 minutes, and that's according to having your paperwork in order so you can respond to the inquiries or the questions appropriately and correctly. The process is normally once you put in the application and if there's no errors or anything, then that funder or that lender will reach back out to you. And if everything is satisfactory, they would provide you with documents to sign so that you can go to the next process. Those documents are basically validating what you've originally applied for, just that confirmation. The application does inquire if you've had a felony or if you're disbarred, anything of that nature. So when you're filling out the application, it's very important that you are honest and truthful. We all know that when we not tell the truth and we lie, it has a tendency to boomerang and come back and be a disadvantage to you. So be as truthful as possible, and be as accurate as possible. In addition to what you were saying, Stephanie, the timeline, the application process opened, I think, on January 11th or 12th.
Okay.
And it will be until March 31st or until funds remain or are exhausted. So in other words, the deadline is March 31st, but if the money goes prior to that, guess what? Then the funds are no longer available and you've lost out.
Gotcha. Okay, so you guys heard that. So you have until March 31st. However, you need to apply ASAP. Don't wait to the last minute. So, again, if you want to apply for the PPP, apply now. And go through your financial institution or the portals, like Ms. Lolita said. So what are some of the questions have you been getting, like, from, business owners about applying for the PPP? Like, is it that people don't know how to fill out the application, or they just need a little bit more assistance, or are you getting pushback? What are you seeing?
Various reasons. For one, the unfamiliarity with, everyone is not computer and tech savvy. So that's one thing. The other thing is because they don't have their documentation in order, they feel that they are totally eliminated. And that's not true. That's why businesses as Adalal and other businesses, Stephanie's business and others, consultants, are here to assist you through the process. So if you're feeling discouraged and feel that you don't have the opportunity to apply for these funds because your paperwork is not in order, then release that, because we're here to help you through that. Other problems or issues that's coming up is not having that financial relationship. I failed to mention when I said about lenders, you can go on the SBA.gov website and they will provide you with lenders in your geographical area. You put in your zip code and they would provide you with all the lenders. They're qualified, registered lenders that you would be able to reach out to see if they would be able to take your application in.
Awesome. So you guys heard that. Like, you can go to SBA.gov and you can type in your zip code and it'll bring up all of the lenders in your area that participate in this program. And again, don't be afraid. Like, listen, if you don't speak up, you won't never know. It may be just that you may be missing one little piece of information, and all you have to do is just set yourself up for success with getting that piece of information. It's just getting the documentation. You should know what your profit and loss is in your business all the time. All the time, not when it's time to apply for something. You should know your numbers. And a lot of times people don't know their numbers because they haven't sat down and looked at the numbers. Like, okay, they're making, like you said, they're making profit every day in their business, but they really don't know. For my service industry business owners, if you provide a service for a client, you should know what your numbers look like, right? Exactly. You should know how much is your expenses, like you said, the expenditures, what you're putting out to produce this particular service on this particular client. You should know your numbers, and that's going to just help you just level up your business, like to build your business. So if you want extra funding or you want to take your business to the next level, you can do that because you have the numbers and you know the numbers and you're confident in what you're doing and what you're saying.
Exactly.
So, Miss Lolita, what suggestions do you have for the audience as far as applying? I know you said we have until March 31st to apply for the PPP, but like I said, we need to go ahead and you're right, Tony. They need to go ahead and apply as soon as possible. And Tony, I keep saying Antonio, but Tony Albritton says, that's my elementary school classmate. He said, but they're not tracking the numbers correctly. You're right. A lot of people aren't tracking their numbers correctly, and that's why it's time to put these systems in place. We spend a lot of time now, so more than ever. There are more people online now with the COVID-19, more online and reading and researching that's now true. than before. So why not set yourself up and get with you a competent tax advisor, bookkeeper, accountant, someone that can help you and show you how to run your business. When I started my ice cream shop back in late 90s, early 2000, I had no point of reference. It wasn't until I decided to go and get educated on how to run this business, because every time I go to the city, they shut me down. You need to get an inspection for a grease trap. What is that? And then I kept going and it was just, okay, now the firefighter you got to do a fire inspection. You need to do that. And then I need the health department to come out, and so these were things that I didn't know. I was 23, didn't know much about starting a business, but what I did have in me was the drive to start this business and set myself up for success. And that's what I did. And that's what prompted me to write this book, Ready, Set, Go, because people start business. We'll start a business. We'll put the cart before the horse and we'll sell our product or services. but we have no legal business together at all.
That's true.
We don't have no account. We don't have, our business bank account set up. We just running everything through our personal account for those who have financial institutions. We just dumping everything in the personal account. So when it's time to go and file your taxes, you got to comb through all those statements. I know because I was there. I used to do it. And so I had to learn that, no, you can't do that. When I sat down with my accountant at the time, she said, Stephanie, this is what you need to do. And then I had to get all these different licenses, sales and use tax, because it was considered a restaurant, really. It was an ice cream shop, but I fell under the restaurant umbrella. So I needed to get a sales and use certificate, meaning I don't pay sales tax on the product, but I pay the tax on the retail, I charge it on the retail side, right? So all of these things I didn't know. And then you had to file your taxes. So based on your revenue that you're generating, it depends on how you send in your form. And the Department of Revenue don't turn in that form. They come in for you. And they will get nasty, and some of them will seize your bank account. Like it's real. It's real. So we just got to get our businesses prepared. And that's the purpose of us having this discussion and this dialogue today. We want to help you all. Like, if you have a business and you have all of your paperwork together, don't be afraid, I'm good, I don't need the funding or whatever. Okay, but this is my next question, Miss Lolita, because I hear it about the forgiveness part of the PPP. How does that work?
The forgiveness, first of all, let's kind of backtrack. In order to determine the amount of your PP loan, that's calculated on your average payroll, monthly payroll, and you multiply that by 2.5. In order to obtain that monthly payroll figure, you have to, for individual self-employed individuals, independent contractors, entrepreneurs, they have to complete and have their Schedule C. And the amount that's on line 31 of that Schedule C, which is your net profit or loss once all your expenses and all that have been calculated and deducted, they take that amount, divide it by 12 to give you your average monthly payroll. Remember, this is a paycheck protection program. So everything is based upon what are you paying for your workers and your payroll to retain these workers and keep them in the workforce. So that will give you an idea of what you qualify for. Now, moving forward to the forgiveness process. This is a paycheck protection program loan initially. However, it does have the opportunity to become a grant because you have the forgiveness process. As long as you expend 60% of your loan on payroll expenses and the other 40% on the other authorized expenditures that SBA provides, which is utilities, your rent, your mortgage interest if you're paying a mortgage on your building, other operational supplies and cost, PPP, safety equipment, that sort of those sort of expenditures. If you spend that 40% on that and you document such, then that loan amount will be totally forgiven. Means you don't have to pay one brown penny. However, you have to follow those guidelines and you have to expend those funds according to the SBA guidelines in those expenditure line items. So if you do that and you follow the directions, you spend the money accordingly, then you submit those documents to SBA, and if everything goes right, they send you a letter and saying, guess what? Your loan is totally forgiven. So it's a win-win situation. That's why Stephanie and I are definitely attempting to emphasize the importance of having documents that can be trackable and verified.
Yes. And so that is good. If that's nothing, that takes the fear away. You know, I mean, just getting the paperwork together, you know, that's what you're going to have to do. Just get the paperwork together. I'm going to respond to Jordan. She asked about any experience or reviews for using Shopify as a POS source. Well, I think Shopify is a platform where you can host your products. If you got, you know, products that you're going to sell, and they process your payment processor all in one, right? So I'm not sure what you're asking me as a point of sale source. I'm not sure. Like a POS, I mean, it's like, you know, Square. Like Square is the payment processor as well. So it just depends. Not sure what question, but Shopify. But you do want to have a system in place outside of Shopify. Maybe they do offer it. I'm not sure. I don't use Shopify, but I do have people that I know that use that platform. You want to make sure you ask those questions like, do they generate profit and loss statements? Can you invoice from Shopify, you know, so that you can track your sales? I'm not sure. I'm sure they do if it's a payment processing platform. So I don't know. You might want to ask Jordan. I hope that helps a little bit. But this is really good. This is some really good information. So, Miss Lolita, can you every week we always like to give our audience 3 business tip takeaways. Mm-hmm. And so I want you to just give the people
the real
some 3 tips that they can use and go apply for this PPP.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to say, in my endeavors, and it's good to have an affirmation. You know, as Stephanie said, what is our process? When we get up in the morning, what's the system? There is a system. So with me, I find the affirmation, and it's just affirming. It's a voice in my head every day that tells me I use the 5P principle. My 5P principle, this is made up by Lolita Pitts. The proper planning and preparation produces profits. So just be mindful of those 5P principles. You know, as they used to say, the metaphor, garbage in, garbage out. You know, good stuff in, good stuff out. So just remember, what you're putting in your business reflects you. And the success of your business is the outcome of what you put into it. So just remember those things. So yeah, that 5P principle, proper planning and preparation produces profits. Also, you may be considering your business to be small or minute or, you know, have no significance. You're just in it to, you know, make the money. But always be mindful. Treat your business as an empire. Okay, regardless of the size, regardless of the number of employees you have, treat it as an empire, which means you need to be into it. You need to know what it is about your business. You need to be involved in it, and you need to, understand what it takes to make that business successful. So just treat it. I don't care if your profit is just $1. You treat that dollar profit as it's $1 million, and you make that dollar grow into millions. So just always be mindful. Treat it, regardless of how small it is, as you're running an empire. And then my third kind of follows what the 2 that I just said. If you don't want to take the recommendations and advice of the consultants, myself and others, then just keep this in mind. This helps me too. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So just remember that.
All right, now did y'all hear that? Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're not going to put forth time and effort, talk about that all the time, nothing's going to change. There's nothing going to happen. So I like the 5P principle. Proper preparation produces proper planning and preparation produces profits. Like, I mean, come on, we got to do better. Like, how do we do better? We got to start. I always talk about this with the renewing of our mind, right? So, and then also Miss Lolita said that, you know, treat your business as an empire. Yeah, you might be small. I'm a small business. Okay, but think big. Mm-hmm. On my my post-it, I'm a post-it note queen. So On my Post-it notes, I put think big.
Yes.
Every day I see that. Think big. Like, you got to think big. Like, I'm sorry. You got to go big or go home. You know, and so it may be scary. It's going to feel, it's not that it's scary. It's just, it's the unknown because you don't know what's going to happen. But just think if you don't do it or you don't prepare your business for success, then you will never know what success look like. And what does success look like for me is standing up on my feet every day. That's success for me. But success for you, it may be, I want to make 6 figures. Well, how are you going to do that? Because you got to show up every day and you got to be consistent. To get to any bag, you got to show up.
Exactly.
You got to show up. So, Miss Lolita, this has been really good. If you all want to get in touch with Miss Lolita Pitts, you can email her at ATILOL consulting solutions at gmail.com. Her website, atilolconsulting.com. That's spelled A as in Apple, T as in Tom, I as in Ivan, L as in Larry, O as in Oscar, L as in Larry, consulting.com. So, you know, at the end of the show, I always like to talk about my favorite topic, and that is the ships. So at some point on your entrepreneurship journey, you will encounter some type of friendship, relationships, partnership, entrepreneurship, companionship, whatever ship you choose. Make sure that your ship is free from holes and that it is solid. And so what I mean for the purposes of this episode, you want to make sure that your business is prepared to apply for these funding, these available options out here for the businesses, right? You want to make sure you have the documentation in place. You get a team, your team help you, being your accountant, your bookkeeper. You want to make sure, or your business coach, you want to make sure that you have these documents in place so that you can apply for funding, right? I'm just saying. You're welcome, Jordan. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Miss Lolita, tell the people how they can follow you on social media.
Well, right now, presently, through my website, just go to, as she said, atilolconsulting.com. Stephanie and I are going to be working on my social media. We're in the initial stages of it, so just be on the watch. It's coming out. I'm here to help you all, and whatever I can. I know the struggles. I know the hurdles you're going through, and I've been through them. I survived it, and you can too, and I'm here to assist you in those endeavors.
Well, this is awesome. I'm so glad that you came on today to drop these nuggets so that the people can go. And again, go to the SBA website, search for the lenders for PPP. You're welcome, Pamela, and look for the lender in your area, right? And then make sure you just get your documents. You will be surprised at the documents. It's minimal. It's not what you think it is. It's minimal documentation. Go ahead and apply. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. Okay, so we're going to do closing. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Jumpstart Your Business with Stephanie A. Wynn. Be sure to tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, Power Plug Radio understands the importance of advertising and promotion in building your business, right? So to help you build your business brand, Power Plug Radio offers digital and on-air sales and advertising. So remember, the key to success and the key to marketing is being consistent and being relevant all the time. So in order for people to know where you are, you got to expand your brand. So you need to expand and get on these airways so that the people can know what you're selling. So, because if nobody knows where you are and who you are, how do they know to buy what you're selling, right? So to get information about the different packages, go to powerplugradio.com, home of the Throwback Jams. You can download the Power Plug app at Google Play Store, Apple App Store, Facebook Live, and also we're online, powerplugradio.com and YouTube. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
You're listening to Power Plug Radio, home of your throwback jams.